software. So in this video we are going to look at how to edit your stock. So sometimes after adding a new stock you realize that the value you entered is not correct. So to correct it, you need to go to the stock trail, identify the record, and then edit it. So that is what we are going to look at in this video. So let's go to the stock trail, which I've already opened here. So I'll click it and then search for women shampoo. So as you can see, this is the last record we entered in the previous video. So let's say this is supposed to be 40, but I mistakenly entered 30. So to correct this, you have to click the arrow here at the beginning of the record, and then you see two buttons. The green is edit, the red is delete. So let's click the green to edit. So if I want to correct this stock from 30 to 40, what I'll do is that I'll change this to 40 and then also change this to 40. Now the difference between this quantity and remaining, as I explained in the previous video, is that the quantity doesn't change. If you put 40 here, this quantity wouldn't change. Is to tell you that this is the original amount you entered or you brought, or the original stock you added at a particular date, and then out of this original quantity that you entered, this is how many is remaining. So the remaining is auto validated. As sales is going on, the remaining will be reducing. Okay, so if you want to edit your stock, whether you are increasing the value or you are reducing, you have to make the changes in the quantity and also make the changes in the remaining. Now if you don't edit this correctly, what will happen is that it will affect your stock status. So your stock status will show as imbalance if you don't edit this correctly. All right, so that is how you can edit your stock. So when you are done, you can just give some remark here. Let's say made corrections on stock value, and then you save changes. All right, so as you can see, our changes is saved successfully. So let's go back to the stock management and then look at our stock again. So you see that women shampoo is balancing. Okay, all right, now let me talk about this auto validation feature. The auto validation feature is there to ensure that your stock status are always aligned or your stocks are always balancing, so that if someone goes into the system and manipulate the system wrongly, the auto validation feature would revert it, would always consider the sales records and then the original stock records to validate your stocks or to validate your remaining values. So let's look at something here. I'm going back to the stock trail, and then I'm going to edit this women shampoo record wrongly. So I'm going to change the remaining 40 here and then say that it's remaining, let's say 35. Okay, then I'll save changes. So let me go back to the manage stock and then refresh. So you see that my stock is not balancing, it's imbalance. That means that something is wrong with my stock, because if I subtract a total quantity sold of 83 from total of 159, I will not get 71. So because of that, it's showing us what? Imbalance. Okay, now let's look at what the stock validation will do. So I'm going to turn this on, and then now let's pay attention to the remaining value, which is 71, and then refresh the page. So you see that the total remain has changed back to the correct value, which is the 76. So I'll refresh again, and then the system will now show that it is what? Balanced. So the auto validation feature is always there to ensure that your stocks your stocks are balancing. So even if someone goes to the stock tree and then edit the stock wrongly, the auto validation feature will reinstate it and give you the correct value. Okay, now let me talk about, say something about this initial stock. The initial stock. What is the initial stock? Now, the initial stock is the first stock that we add to the system. So you remember in the first video we created a new product. Anytime you create a new product, the quantity that you enter is your initial stock. So when you come to the stock tray and then you see initial stock, it means that is the first stock you added into the system when you were creating your new product. Okay, so that is how you can modify the stock trail. And then also, if for instance you let's say entered the stock wrongly, maybe for some reasons you need to remove it from the system, you can also click this delete button and then you click yes, delete, to remove it from the system. But please, this privilege must be given to administrators only, or those who handles the stock. Yes. All right, so that is how you can remove a stock. So thank you for watching this video, and then see you in the next video.